Welcome to the Success Space. In today's video, we'll be discussing the concept of egonomics as outlined in the book of the same name, written by David Marcum and Steven Smith. Egonomics is all about taking control of your personal and professional development in order to achieve success and fulfillment. We'll be exploring the key ideas and strategies presented in the book and how you can apply them to your own life. So if you're looking to boost your productivity, manage your time more effectively, and reach your goals, this is the video for you. Tune in and let's get started on our journey towards becoming the success face. People who are able to make decisions with clarity and without emotion are essential to the success of businesses. Managers who are narcissistic and only care about themselves often cause serious issues, sometimes even complete and utter disasters. Business egotism is widespread, according to research. Ego issues are the cause of more than 1/3 of bad decisions. After making a decision, almost 2/3 of corporate executives do not look into other options. Regardless of their value, more than 8 out of 10 managers force their ideas on others. Ego problems, according to more than 1 in 2 business people, can reduce annual revenues by up to 15%. 1 in 4 people think the cost will be up to 20%. In excess of 6 out of 10 money managers accept that self-image adversely influences work execution on a day-to-day, even hourly, premise. Every good thought we have and every good action we take opens us up to pride in the various assaults of vanity and self-satisfaction. William Law. On the other hand, having too little ego can be just as bad as having too much. Insecurity and an overly cautious approach follow. Executive qualities like self-assurance and confidence are crucial. Sadly, some self-assured individuals cross the line and become the pushy, self-centered business leaders that others detest. If your ego is spiraling out of control, how can you tell? There are 4 early warning signs that you have a problem. Early warning sign 1 being comparative. Your competitive drive is out of control if you constantly compare your achievements to those of others, worry that you will outperform them, and view work as a zero-sum game. If you constantly compare yourself to your coworkers, you have an inflated ego. It took Fannie Mae almost 20 years to go from good to great, and it took less than 5 years to go from great to good to, only time will tell, according to the company. Creating these sorts of examinations can make you set your bar of expert achievement excessively low, or excessively high. Your standards will be lowered and you won't be able to reach your full potential if your coworkers are poor performers. Or, if they're great performers, you might think you'll never catch up. In any case, your thinking has been taken over by your ego rather than your capacity for reason. Early warning sign 2 being defensive. Being prepared to defend your ideas in front of others demonstrates seriousness and commitment to your goal. It's a sign of healthy self-assurance. However, when your ego takes over, you may begin to believe that coworkers who challenge your ideas are in fact undermining your worth and value. Rivalry whose intention is just to contend, to drive some individual out, never conveys exceptionally far. Henry Ford. Being defensive is harmful. You quickly shut down if you view even legitimate concerns regarding your proposals or ideas as personal attacks. You adopt a posture that discourages cooperation and resembles the porcupine, which immediately transforms into a ball of stinging quills when threatened. Contrarily, it leads to confrontation and conflict. Early warning sign 3, showcasing brilliance. Some people believe that if they want to rise to the top of their organizations, they must keep displaying their talents. Ironically, this strategy almost never succeeds. People quickly become put off by your constant brilliance. The degree to which you attempt to awe them with your brilliance is inversely proportional to the degree to which people respect your ideas. Defending a position is not the same as being defensive. Additionally, numerous studies demonstrate that an individual acting on their own cannot compete with a group's collective wisdom. By hobbling the spotlight, the group is obscured. Instead, if you want to solve a problem or achieve a goal, you should turn to other people. Early warning sign 4, seeking acceptance. Have you ever found that you had to constantly remind yourself of your authority and prestige? Healthy egos don't need others to tell them how much they are worth. Pioneers who generally look for approval can't endure sensible conversation of restricting perspectives. They mistake constructive disagreement for malicious dissent. Consequently, they frequently surround themselves with sycophants who they can rely on to relay their desires. Our defensiveness is primarily due to two factors: the image we need to have of ourselves and the image we want others to have of us. In contrast, successful executives do not bother seeking approval or acceptance, and they are accustomed to receiving constructive criticism of their ideas from subordinates and coworkers. Develop the following personal qualities to keep a raging ego in check. Ego is a continuum of humility. Try to find the middle ground, our perfect equilibrium, or humility. This virtue is viewed with suspicion by many executives. Nevertheless, modesty is not weakness, rather, it is the capacity to objectively assess one's strengths and weaknesses. Self-respect that is based on reality can be gained through humility. Ego tells you that the rules don't apply to you, that you're never wrong, and that anyone who questions you is unfaithful and should be killed. Being humble brings you back to basics. It lets you see yourself in the same way that other people do and in the same way that you are. The alternative, ignoring feedback from others, appears even worse if hearing feedback from others is painful. The truth is not erased by defensiveness. Instead, it only serves to safeguard our illusions, which impede progress. These are the three special qualities of humility. We, then me, leaders are many times more plan on propelling their own advantages than on accomplishing business objectives, which is odd, in light of the fact that their advantages are laced so intimately with the outcome of their business. As a result, they will perform best when they concentrate on the business, we, not on themselves, me. In effect, selflessness is the best way to be selfish. I'm brilliant, and I'm not being humble enables you to show your best side while remaining modest at the same time. You can, for instance, give a passionate presentation and then sit quietly and listen to what others have to say. You can be brave and retiring at the same time. You can show leadership and commitment to the common good at the same time. One more thing, do not accept the status quo. You are compelled to grow and change through humility. The unfettered ego, on the other hand, subtly informs you that you are perfect and do not require any improvement. You can't exclude the world without excluding yourself. Arnold Glasgow. Humility is frequently mistakenly associated with tranquility. However, achieving equilibrium necessitates confronting and resolving conflicts, which are inherently challenging for people. One reason for this is that they are hardwired to react to threats with an adrenaline rush, which puts them in a state known as diffuse physiological arousal, DPA. In this state, you in a real sense can't hear what others are talking about and are excessively siphoned up to think smoothly and soundly. Additionally, many people perceive criticisms of their ideas as personal attacks because they are unable to distinguish their identities from their ideas. A one-way mentality develops as our perceived brilliance differentiates us from other people. We are the instructors, and everyone else is a student. Use these strategies during a conflict to keep your humility and keep the lines of communication open. Maintain unconditional positive regard, UPR, even if you have enough experience dealing with an adversary to know that you don't share their values or approach. Everyone deserves respect as a person. When you engage in UPR, you are freed from forming stereotypes about other people. It's not easy, but the new perspectives and experiences you'll gain make the effort worthwhile. Channel intensity from identity to ideas. Use opening statements, like, "You might be right," or, "Say a little more about that," to show your opponent that you want to hear what they have to say. Admit when you don't know something. Make inquiries. When you act in this way, you create a neutral zone, where you can debate ideas vigorously without engaging in DPA. The curiosity ego encloses the mind, turning it into a closed, sterile, and isolated world that is inaccessible to light. Nothing can develop or flourish in this hostile environment. However, curiosity broadens one's perspective to an endless array of possibilities. A curious mind is fed by the world, just like a flower that always grows toward the sun. It is far too preoccupied to engage in defensive behavior, silly comparisons, self-promotion, or beg for acceptance from others. In the end, the curious personality is bored by the ego. Learners will inherit the earth in times of change, while learned people will find themselves beautifully prepared to deal with a world that no longer exists. Alvin Toffler. On the other hand, the egotistical personality does not require curiosity. After all, there is nothing more intriguing than the essential I. When you are the brightest thing in the universe, you lose interest in it. Develop these two kinds of interest. Passive state. Curiosity is similar to the awe and curiosity you experience when you see a great piece of art. The trait type of curiosity does not require any external stimuli. All that the psyche experiences is an object of interest. The mind marked by curiosity focuses on an endlessly fascinating external world, while the mind marked by ego focuses on itself inside. We are less likely to survive the more we focus on our own survival. In order to get rid of excessive ego, curiosity is a remarkable cleansing agent. When you're curious, you care more about other people's opinions than you do about your own. Your mind is always open to learning, developing, and expanding. Veracity. Egomaniacs can't recognize conditions that don't meet their grandiose, frequently ridiculous, assumptions. Executives who are self-involved frequently make and even enforce negative, false assumptions and estimates. They might downplay or ignore significant advancements made by the competition, or they might claim that their businesses are doing much better than they actually are in the market. They have a problem with veracity. Reality is beyond them. Those who lack humility are most likely to experience humiliation. Healthy egos insist on objective analysis of the situation. They doubt instinct or hunches. They are careful about misleading suspicions. Face up to difficult realities with honesty and directness. Don't let your ego keep you from seeing bad things. When subordinates attempt to report troubling facts, egotistical managers frequently mischaracterize them as disloyal or contentious. Naturally, such reactions significantly hinder honest reporting and analysis in the future. Workers quickly realize that their managers don't want the truth. As a result, they convey only what they want to hear. Assuming we're dedicated to advance, it doesn't make any difference who has the response, just that answers are found. Utilize these methods, which demand courage and humility, to improve veracity. Hearing down, show subordinates that you are prepared to accept disagreeable facts. If they provide such information, you should not accuse them of disloyalty. Speaking up, report and analyze your own senior executives in an open and honest manner. Put aside the games of ego. They seriously impede your personal and professional development. In all of your personal and professional interactions, insist on a fearless devotion to veracity and demonstrate humility and curiosity. Thanks for joining us on the Success Space for this discussion on economics. We hope that you've gained some valuable insights and strategies from the book written by David Marcum and Steven Smith. Remember, taking control of your personal and professional development is key to achieving success and fulfillment. We encourage you to put these ideas into action and start seeing positive results in your life. Don't forget to follow our channel for more videos on leadership, self-improvement, and personal development. Until next time, stay motivated and keep striving to become the best version of yourself. Take care.